We are here at the VMware Corporation, a technology company in Silicon Valley that has really seen accelerated growth. And the question before the leaders who are assembled here today is, how do you take the spirit of innovation that we have here and sort of apply it to the rest of the country and grow the economy? And no one knows how to do that better than Steve Case, of course, everyone knows as the ex-chief of AOL. Thanks for being here today.
Good to be here.
As you look at the situation in Washington, I want to start with that. When you see how that's unfolded, as a leader in the technology industry, what goes through your mind in terms of how that situation played out?
Well, I'm glad there's now appears to be some resolution and some certainty, because I think that is important. There's been a lot of instability in the global markets because of that. But the debt crisis is important. It also, I think, highlights a democracy crisis. It's hard to get these issues kind of resolved in a collaborative, bipartisan way. But the real focus, I think, needs to be on an innovation crisis. How do we make sure we really are creating the next generation of entrepreneurial companies? Because if you look at the whole issue of the debt, there's three ways to solve it. One is to have the government spend less. Two is to increase tax rates. Three is to actually create jobs and a strong economy that generates significant revenues. I think there needs to be more focus now, and hopefully will be now that this is resolved, on jobs, the economy, on growth, on global competitiveness, and that's what the Jobs Council is focused on doing.
When you launched AOL and it became the enormous success that it became, it was a different environment. The economy was growing. Now, during these tough economic times, how do you get the economy to grow given where we are with the environment?
But it's all about entrepreneurship. And actually, when we started AOL in 1985, the economy was not all that strong, and so there's always some cycles to it. But if you look at the statistics, the Kauffman Foundation tracks this. All the net jobs over the last 25 years have been created by high-growth entrepreneurial companies, 40 million jobs in total. So it really is the source of jobs and the source of innovation. And when people in Washington focus on business, they typically think of it as one monolithic thing. The fact is there's big business, Fortune 500. There's small business, kind of mom-and-pop store in Main Street America, and both of those are important. But the real leverage in terms of job creations, innovation, and a strong economy and tax revenues is on the high-growth entrepreneurial sector. So that's why we need to focus on that. And the Job Council created a subcommittee that I chair specifically to focus on that. And we're working on a roadmap. Part of the reason to be here is to listen and get some perspective from folks here in Silicon Valley. And next month we'll be presenting to the President a roadmap for entrepreneurship and try to build bipartisan support for something that really will move the needle in terms of jobs in the economy.
And final question. Are you more optimistic now or more pessimistic in terms of where the economy is going?
Well, I'm always an optimist. I think entrepreneurs have to be optimists, but only if we get people focused on the right issues, and particularly policymakers in D.C., on not the importance just of the jobs and the economy or focusing more on business, but focusing on the secret sauce that drives business, drives innovation, drives our economy, which is entrepreneurship and these high-growth companies. So that's why being in Silicon Valley is important. For me, Silicon Valley isn't just a place, it's also an idea. And the idea of Silicon Valley really is something that's inspired people all around the world, and we need to inspire other regions in the United States to learn from Silicon Valley. And it's not always going to be cookie cutter. Each region has their own unique strengths and weaknesses, but building these very vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystems throughout our nation is our best hope to have a strong economy and preserve our leadership in the next century.